On April 2, 2025, a shadow hanging over New York City Mayor Eric Adams lifted. A federal corruption case against him, one that had dogged his term since its inception, was dismissed with prejudice. U.S. District Judge Dale E. Ho's ruling meant the charges could not be refiled, offering a definitive legal victory for the mayor. But the road to this point, and its implications for the city's future, were far from simple. The dismissal brought a sense of relief to Adams and his supporters. He could now govern without the specter of a trial looming. His agenda, often overshadowed by the legal battle, could take center stage. Yet the case's echoes, particularly the circumstances surrounding its dismissal, continued to resonate. The timing was critical. With a 2025 re-election campaign on the horizon, the dismissal removed a significant obstacle for Adams. However, the political landscape remained complex. The case and the questions it raised had already seeped into the public consciousness, shaping perceptions of his administration. The road ahead for Adams was uncertain. While legally free, he now faced the task of navigating the court of public opinion. The dismissal, while a victory, had also exposed potential vulnerabilities, providing ammunition for his opponents and leaving the city grappling with its implications. The charges against Adams were serious, striking at the heart of his administration. Filed in 2024, they painted a picture of corruption, alleging a quid pro quo scheme involving Turkish nationals. Campaign contributions, it was claimed, were exchanged for favorable treatment, undermining the public's trust. Central to the case were claims of conspiracy, bribery, and wire fraud. Prosecutors alleged that Adams, both during his campaign and his early days as mayor, had solicited and accepted contributions exceeding legal limits. These contributions, they argued, were intended to influence city policies and secure benefits for the donors. The indictment further alleged that these actions constituted federal program bribery. By leveraging his position for personal gain, Adams, according to the prosecution, had violated the public's trust and abused his power. The charges sent shockwaves through the city, casting a long shadow over his mayoralty. The allegations were detailed and complex, involving a web of financial transactions and political maneuvering. As the case unfolded, it threatened to consume Adams's time and energy, diverting him from the pressing issues facing the city. The legal battle became a defining narrative of his term, obscuring his policy goals and accomplishments. In a surprising turn of events, the Department of Justice, under then-President Trump's acting U.S. Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove, made the highly unusual move to dismiss the case in February 2025. Their rationale, however, raised more questions than it answered, fueling suspicions of political maneuvering. The DOJ cited the appearance of impropriety stemming from statements made by former U.S. Attorney Damian Williams as one reason for the dismissal. They argued that these statements had tainted the case, jeopardizing a fair trial. However, they provided no concrete evidence to substantiate these claims, leaving many skeptical of their true motives. Adding to the controversy, the DOJ also claimed that the ongoing case hindered Adams's ability to govern effectively, particularly impacting federal immigration initiatives. This argument, seen by many as a thinly veiled attempt to influence local policy, sparked outrage and accusations of federal overreach. The DOJ's motion to dismiss, particularly its timing and rationale, sent shockwaves through the legal community. Critics were quick to point out the unusual nature of the request, especially given the serious allegations against Adams. The move fueled speculation about a potential quid pro quo, with the Trump administration potentially leveraging the case for political gain. Judge Ho's decision to dismiss the case against Mayor Adams was not a simple rubber stamp of the DOJ's request. While he ultimately agreed to the dismissal, he did so with prejudice, meaning the charges couldn't be refiled, and he issued a scathing rebuke of the DOJ's rationale, raising serious questions about their motives and conduct. In his ruling, Judge Ho meticulously dismantled the DOJ's arguments. He found no evidence to support their claims of impropriety by former U.S. Attorney Williams, deeming their concerns unfounded. Furthermore, he rejected their assertion that the case hampered Adams's governance, noting that the mayor continued to fulfill his duties effectively. However, Judge Ho's decision was not solely based on the weakness of the DOJ's arguments. He expressed deep concern about the potential for a quid pro quo, particularly citing Adams's decision to allow ICE operations at Rikers Island shortly after the DOJ's motion to dismiss. This raised red flags, suggesting a possible link between the legal case and political bargaining. To safeguard against the perception of such a deal and protect Adams from potential future harassment, Judge Ho deemed dismissal with prejudice necessary. This, he argued, would ensure that the case wouldn't be used as a political football, allowing Adams to govern without the cloud of legal uncertainty hanging over him. Section 5, Fallout and Questions, the DOJ in turmoil. The DOJ's motion to dismiss the case against Mayor Adams sent shockwaves through the department itself, leading to a wave of resignations and accusations of political interference. The move exposed deep divisions within the department, raising serious questions about its independence and commitment to justice. Among the most notable departures was acting U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon, who, along with 6 other prosecutors, resigned in protest. In their resignation letters, they stated their inability to continue working for a department that would dismiss a case without a good faith basis. Their departures highlighted the ethical concerns surrounding the decision, further fueling suspicions of political motivations. The controversy surrounding the case sparked a firestorm of criticism from legal experts and ethics watchdogs. They argued that the DOJ's actions undermined the rule of law and eroded public trust in the justice system. The resignations, they argued, were a clear indication of the damage inflicted on the department's integrity. The fallout from the case extended far beyond the DOJ, prompting calls for an independent investigation into the decision-making process. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle expressed concerns about the potential for political interference in prosecutorial decisions, demanding transparency and accountability. Section 6, a political battlefield. The 2025 election looms. The dismissal of the corruption case against Mayor Adams undoubtedly reshaped the landscape of the upcoming 2025 mayoral election. With a significant legal hurdle removed, Adams found himself in a stronger position to seek re-election. However, the political battle was far from over, as the case's shadow continued to loom large. While the dismissal relieved Adams of a significant burden, it also provided ammunition for his opponents. They seized on the controversy surrounding the DOJ's decision, painting a picture of an administration tainted by suspicion. The case, they argued, raised serious questions about Adams's judgment and integrity, even in the absence of a conviction. The timing of the dismissal just months before the election further fueled speculation and intensified the political battle. Adams's opponents accused him of using his influence to manipulate the justice system for personal gain, attempting to sway public opinion against him. The 2025 election was shaping up to be a referendum not only on Adams's policies and performance, but also on the very integrity of his administration. The corruption case, though dismissed, had left an indelible mark, forcing voters to grapple with complex questions about ethics, accountability, and the role of power in city government. Section 7. Public perception, a city divided. The dismissal of the corruption case against Mayor Adams sent ripples through the fabric of New York City, leaving its citizens grappling with the implications and debating the fairness of the outcome. Public opinion remained sharply divided, with some expressing relief, while others harbored lingering doubts. For Adams's supporters, the dismissal represented a triumph over baseless accusations. They argued that the mayor had been unfairly targeted from the outset, subjected to a politically motivated witch hunt. The dismissal, they believed, vindicated him, allowing him to focus on governing the city effectively. However, for Adams's detractors, the dismissal left a bitter aftertaste. The circumstances surrounding the DOJ's decision, particularly the timing and lack of clear justification, fueled suspicions of a cover-up. They questioned whether justice had truly been served and whether powerful individuals were held accountable for their actions. The case also highlighted the deep-seated cynicism that many New Yorkers harbored towards their government. The allegations of corruption, whether true or not, reinforced a sense that the system was rigged in favor of the wealthy and well-connected, leaving ordinary citizens feeling powerless and disillusioned. Section 8, the Cuomo factor, a formidable opponent emerges. Adding another layer of complexity to the already heated 2025 mayoral race was the entry of a political heavyweight former governor Andrew Cuomo. Having resigned in 2021 amid a cloud of scandal, Cuomo saw an opportunity to resurrect his political career, capitalizing on the lingering doubts surrounding Mayor Adams. Cuomo, despite his past controversies, remained a formidable force in New York politics. He possessed a deep understanding of the state's political machinery and a proven ability to galvanize voters. His entry into the race instantly shifted the dynamics, posing a significant challenge to Adams's re-election bid. Cuomo's strategy centered on positioning himself as a seasoned leader with a proven track record. He contrasted his experience with Adams's, highlighting his own accomplishments as governor, and subtly alluding to the cloud of suspicion surrounding the dismissed corruption case. The race between Adams and Cuomo was shaping up to be a clash of titans, pitting two political heavyweights against each other. It was a battle for the soul of New York City, a contest that would determine the city's direction for years to come. Section 9. Transparency on Trial, a Call for Accountability. The dismissal of the corruption case against Mayor Adams, while legally sound, left an indelible mark on New York City, raising profound questions about transparency, accountability, and the public's trust in its institutions. The case served as a stark reminder that justice, even when served, can leave behind a trail of unanswered questions and lingering doubts. The circumstances surrounding the DOJ's decision, particularly the lack of transparency and the subsequent resignations, eroded public confidence in the legal system. It fueled a sense that the scales of justice were not always balanced, that power and influence could sway outcomes, leaving ordinary citizens feeling disillusioned and powerless. In the wake of the case, a chorus of voices emerged, demanding greater transparency and accountability from those in power. Calls for an independent investigation into the DOJ's handling of the case grew louder, as did demands for stricter ethics rules and stronger safeguards against political interference in legal matters. The case served as a wake-up call, a stark reminder that the pursuit of justice requires constant vigilance and a commitment to upholding the highest ethical standards. It underscored the fragility of public trust and the importance of transparency and accountability in maintaining a just and equitable society.